This video is going to be important because I think if you want to be good with automations, business, or consulting, or whatever you want in life, you gotta have really good prompting skills moving forward. In this video, I'm going to be discussing the 6-step AI prompting framework that has 10x my prompting outputs from ChatGPT. And these are 6 steps that you can do immediately today to improve yours as well. And I've even condensed them into this very memorable abbreviation called prompt. So without further ado, let's just freaking start. The first letter, which is P, is persona. And let me just pull up Claude. This is ChatGPT for smart people. So this is the one I've been using. It's an alternative for ChatGPT, and I've been paying for it for months now. And for the first one, it's called persona. In simple words, you got to put a person to the AI. You got to describe who the AI is before you even ask it what to do. So for example, act as the world's best copywriter, or you can make it email writer. And then with 10 plus years experience, I usually add this part. And then the final one is in the technology space. And you can even go deeper and more specific. Like for example, email writer specializing in, I don't know, follow-ups, or yep, you can definitely add more to this and then increase the number of years. I don't think that that's gonna make any difference, but be specific with the space so that the terminologies, the words that is gonna use, the sentences, the paragraphs are all made for that space. So definitely add this at the very first part of your prompt, and immediately, even if you forget all the other ones, this simple change will help level up your prompting. So you're not just relying on ChatGPT's basic knowledge, you're more specialized, more focused on this specific field, and you basically have the best friend you could ever have right at the palm of your hands with just this single line. So definitely add persona to your prompting. Right? Let's now move to R, which is request. Now that you have told the AI who it is, let's now determine or tell it what it needs to do. So request. We have to be specific with this one. So for example, since they are the best email writer in the world, let's try and ask them, write me an email about bananas to be sent to a monkey in, I don't know, Tagalog form, which is my language. Tagalog form. There we go. So you can be more specific, like what part of the banana you want it to be focusing on, or what part of their lifestyle, what type of Tagalog, because there are a lot of dialects here in the Philippines. So the more specific you are, the better the output will be. But this will be basically write me an email, write me a paragraph, write me an essay, write me a social media post. Just make sure to be really specific of what you want to happen. What I usually do is also put here to be posted, right? Instead of, to be sent to a monkey in Tagalog form. Let's be serious about it. Bananas to be posted in a group, FB group, with members from the monkey community. Sorry, I'm really not serious. But yeah, I think you can see the point, right? Be really specific and even give context of who you're supposed to post. And actually, that brings us to the third one, O, which is objective. It's very similar to the one that I just typed here. You should have put that here. So, for example, you're writing for beginners, for college students, for a pitch deck, for investors. Just tell the AI who you're trying to write to so that it can customize the wording, the tone, the yeah, like the reading level, all of those good stuff. And I think that's pretty straightforward, right? If you tell the audience to the AI, it should be able to write specifically for that audience. Now let's move to the fourth one, which is manner. Right? Let me just update this. So manner is like the tone that you want the AI to write with. So manner is, for example, use a friendly tone, just like speaking to a friend. By the way, I'm not a monkey, but like as we can see, we can specify if it's formal, if it's like, you know, a little bit formal but still casual, or you want to be serious. Just put the tone there. But most of the tools actually already have like way for you to determine the style. For example, Claude, use style. You can be concise, explanatory, formal, and you can even add styles here. So this one is actually kind of optional depending on the tool that you're using. But I usually use words like use a casual tone, use a friendly tone, because you know I think there's a limited amount of scenarios wherein you want to be formal or serious. Right. So we're done with M. Let's now move to again P, which is presentation style. We just copy this. The presentation style is how you want the AI to format it. All right. Whether it be bulleted form, paragraph form, thesis format, book format, right? But we're writing it in email. So let's just make it simple in bullet form for the body. So the monkeys can easily read it, right? But you can be specific, like write it in a 5 paragraph format with 5 sentences each, or yeah, limit it to 2,000 characters or 2,000 words, and so on. Like you can be specific with the presentation style. And then finally is the letter T, terms and limits, which is what I just told you. So you gotta like tell the AI to write it in this length. For example, write it with a maximum of 2,000 words. Then, not only the length, but you can also specify, for example, avoid technical jargon and use simple language. I also like my favorite to add at the end of my prompts is use third grade reading level or language, which means to like make the words, make the tone, make everything made for third graders. And that will help to produce like very simple, very understandable text, because these AIs are super smart that they only are able to talk to smart people as well. So if you want a more simpler output, add this simple line at the end. All right, now we have a very personalized prompt, and I don't know what this will look like, but let's actually try it out. And oh, sorry. Let's see the output. Like we just made this on the spot. I don't know what to expect. But while that's waiting, I have a couple more tips that I have to show you. All right, that's generating for persona. Remember, we told it that it's the best UX designer in the world, or sorry, best copywriter, best email writer. And then you can be specific like that. But another tip that I recently just discovered is instead of telling the AI what job or what field they are in, you can be or you can specify who it's trying to act as. For example, act as or pretend to be Obama, right? Pretend to be Michael Jordan or pretend to be this famous person. So that is the tip. Right? Let me just put it here. By the way, I'm using, if you want a diagram tool like this, it's called Excalibur. It's free as well. Tips. Pretend to be famous person. All right, this will like speed up your prompting process instead of like specifying who it is, how many experience or how many years of experience and what field they are in. Just tell it, pretend to be this famous person. It already will get their language, their history, their personality. So you can basically have like the smartest person in the world, pretend to be Albert Einstein, pretend to be like this expert in this field, and it should be able to act as like them. Imagine having someone as an expert like that, and you can ask unlimited questions too. Like that's super powerful in my opinion. Right? Before I proceed to the next step, let's try to read this. Hope this brightened your day, banana friends. Remember, life is better when we stick together. Just like bananas in a bunch. Keep enjoying those yellow treasures and don't forget to share the banana love with others. What's your favorite banana moment? Drop a comment below and let's celebrate our amazing fruit together. Stay sweet and keep climbing. P.S. Next week, I'm thinking of sharing some awesome banana recipes. Who's interested? Hot damn. Anyway, like this wouldn't have been possible if you just told Claude or ChatGPT, write me an email about bananas. Right? That's a completely different output than this one. Now, onto the more like pressing stuff. So tips, pretend to be a famous person. And then another one that I usually use in order to improve my prompts is this is a level 1 answer. Give me the level 2. All right? And like just try this out and you'll be amazed like the difference of this. And then finally, like a really good practice that I'm doing right now is at the end of the prompt, ask me questions in order to get a better understanding. Now, let me provide something more concrete. Let's try and create a new chat. All right, I just typed this out. Pretend you are Alex Hormozi and you're going to create a business that will generate $1 million in the first year. Provide me everything I need to know in order to execute it. Ask me questions in order to better understand the challenge. So if you don't know who Alex Hormozi is like one of the most famous people in business right now. He's like generated millions and millions of dollars online. And like he speaks the language I want to. And instead of like going to Alex, asking him the secrets, and then, paying a lot of money, I can just go to ChatGPT or Claude and be able to essentially talk to him without actually talking to him, right? And then finally, I added this like sentence. Ask me questions in order to better understand, instead of the challenge, my skill set. Like, you can make the AI ask questions to you in order to generate like level 2 answers or immediately. So you can even go and click this in Claude or in ChatGPT, it's deep research. What it's going to do is even go online, search for the latest trends, search for the latest businesses, analyze them, and like later you are gonna get a report of the latest like business news. Look at this. Listen, getting $1 million in a year one isn't about finding some magical business idea. It's about leveraging what you already know and can execute at a high level, then packaging it in a way that solves expensive problems for people who can afford to pay. But before I give you the blueprint, I need to understand what we're working with. Most people think they need a perfect plan when really they need perfect execution of an imperfect plan. Here's what I need to know: skills and experience, resources, risk profile, and then the fastest path to $1 million is almost always a service business where you're the product initially, then you systemize and scale, but specific vehicle depends entirely on your answers above. Right. So like it talked like Alex. And then it asked me these questions in order to like before it even suggested anything, it asked me the right questions. And those two things like will level up your prompt even if you forget the abbreviation I just told you. Right? So if you know someone who's famous on this specific field, you can do this same thing. Like for example, I want to create this application that's gonna like change the world. I would probably go and type, pretend you are Steve Jobs. Right? Then it's gonna embody the personality, the beliefs, the culture that Steve Jobs has been able to like implement and show. Right? Pretend you're Steve Jobs. Ask me questions about my vision. Right? You can do this with a lot of stuff. Like for example, you're trying to build this app. You're trying to be better at the piano. You can ask Mozart. Like you can ask anyone that's famous. Then you could answer this, and then later this is going to be like a homework for you. Just type this out. This is a level 2 answer. Give me level 3. And then you can, after that, you can say that, give me a level 4 answer. Give me a level 5 answer. And it's going to get better and better and better. So, yep, that's like the prompting framework that I want to share with you guys. Try and screenshot this if you can. Like this alone will like put you ahead of 90% of people trying to learn AI. They want to learn AI and automation, but they don't know how to prompt. I basically just use this and give me a tool, give me a new platform, give me a new technology. I'm just going to do this over and over again. And that's how you are going to get ahead. Yep. So that's it. Thanks. If you've got any questions, comments, put it down below. Thank you.